I am here to tell you and let you in on a little secret. You guys can actually win one of these for free. Stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you just how you can. I want to start this video off by saying thank you to the Inquisitive Farmwife. We're going to post her link to her YouTube channel down below in the description. She offered and invited us to join in a FreezeDriedFebruary collaboration. So what that means is the entire month of February on her channel, you can find videos just like the one you're about to watch, and you can learn all you need to know about freeze dryers, why you freeze dry, and how you can freeze dry. And I think that's a pretty awesome deal. Also, there's free giveaways, as well as, like I said, you're gonna find out how you can win one of these, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. In this video, I'm not going to be using my freeze dryer, but I want you guys to stick around because 6 Day Ranch, we're actually going to be posting a video on how to freeze dry French toast sticks. And I'm super excited about that because you can eat it freeze dried or cooked. So super excited about that. Y'all stick around for that. In a couple future videos, we're going to be posting that. But today, in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons why we choose to freeze dry our food versus just throwing food in the freezer or canning or dehydrating our foods. So with freeze drying your food, tip number 1 is the long shelf life. When you freeze dry your food, as long as you store it properly, which we store in Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, it can last up to 25 years. That's 7 to 8 times longer than canning. Now, if you've done your research on canning, there are some people out there that have eaten jars of canned goods that's like 30 years old. So it's doable with canning, but it's kind of risky because you never know when that seal is going to fail. So with freeze drying, way better, 25 years, and you can always tell when your food goes bad because it gets moist, it gets soggy, or you can just smell it. It's not as freeze dried like it was whenever you first stored it. Reason number 2, now I'm going to be bringing up canning a lot because canning and freeze drying go hand in hand. It's a way to preserve your food. So it's super easy to compare the two, especially since I know how to can and freeze dry. So when you freeze dry your food, you can actually save up to 97% of the nutrition in your food, which is crazy to think about. That's almost 100%. So whenever you freeze dry something, you're taking it from the stove or whatever it is you're freeze drying. You can even be freeze drying some pineapples, and you're saving 97% of what is in that food. When you can or you dehydrate something, because the heat has to get so hot to create the seals or to really pull out the moisture in a dehydrator, you're actually going to lose or damage up to 50% or more of whatever you're canning or dehydrating. And honestly, I don't want to take that risk. Yes, I will still can. Yes, I'm still going to make jams and jellies, even though that's the case. I just prefer to freeze dry over canning for that reason. Reason number 3, freeze dried food has superior quality. So whenever you think about freeze dried foods, you probably think about something like this. See how that just looks so gross? This is actually pumpkin that I'm saving for next fall, or actually this fall coming up. So I have pumpkin. Look at this. Can you guess what this is? This is pineapple. So everybody thinks that like whenever you freeze dry foods and you get this kind of texture, that when you rehydrate this, it's not going to have that same texture of a true pineapple, or the flavor is going to be altered, or the aroma or the smell is going to be different. But I'm here to tell you, when you rehydrate your food, it's like you just cooked it on the stove or you just cut open this pineapple. You can even eat it just like this and you get a nice crunch to it. So it's like eating like your dehydrated bananas or your dehydrated fruit that you can buy in the bags from the store, but instead it's freeze dried and it lasts longer. Reason number 4 why we like to freeze dry our food: you have a lot less waste than you normally would if you don't freeze dry your food. And I'm being serious. So the average family every year wastes about 40% of the food that they eat or they purchase. That's crazy to me, because whenever I think of that, I just think about the money that's going down the drain. With us, we like to grow our own garden. Now there's some vegetables that our boys, they don't like to eat, and we're not going to force them to eat those kinds of vegetables. But one thing that we can do is if we have a really big harvest that year, freeze dry it, save it up. You can cook it and then freeze dry it, or just freeze dry it raw. Whatever your produce may be, whatever meal you're cooking, if you cook a large stock pot of, say, chicken noodle soup, and you're like, my family's not going to eat all of this for the entire week, we're not going to go through this, or we're going to get tired of it. Serve it for however much you want, throw it in your freeze dryer, save it up for a rainy day. Whenever you don't want to cook one evening, go grab you a Mylar bag of chicken noodle soup, rehydrate it, eat it. It's going to taste just like you cooked it on the stove. The last reason why we like to freeze dry our food is because we know what goes into our food. So whenever you go to the grocery store and you want to do like a quick box meal of something, say you want to do mac and cheese, and you're like, man, I just want to buy this box of mac and cheese. It's going to be so easy. Just boil it and cook it and feed it to my family. Well, your family's not getting good nutrition. So what you want to do is get you this freeze dryer, go win you that freeze dryer, and you can actually cook your macaroni homemade, spend a day, just a Saturday, making good fresh food for your family, throw it in the freeze dryer, let it freeze dry, store it up, and then you know what your family's eating. You know the good ingredients, the fruits, the vegetables. You know the seasonings that you're putting into your body, and that's going to help you in the long run and your family, and your family's going to appreciate you. So mamas, if you want to provide good food for your family, freeze dry it. You know what you're putting into it. Now for the fun part. You're thinking, how do I win the freeze dryer? We're really grateful to Harvest Right for donating a medium freeze dryer to one of you guys, and that's going to be given away on March 3rd at 4 p.m. Central Time over on the Inquisitive Farmwife's page. Put that in your calendars. March 3rd at 4 p.m. Central Time. How do you enter? Well, it's super easy. You can comment on this video one time, and that enters you in one time for the drawing. You can also go and comment once on all the other collaborators' videos for the entire month of February, and that enters you in once per video. So make sure you go and follow along and enter in on the other videos so you have a greater chance of winning. Again, March 3rd, 4 p.m. Central Time, there's going to be a random person selected. One other point that I want to make is if you buy a freeze dryer during the entire month of February and you end up winning the new freeze dryer, well, Harvest Right has your back. They're either going to refund you your money or they'll send you a second freeze drying machine all for free. It's completely up to you on if you win or not. So I'm so excited for you guys. I would definitely take the second one for free, but that's just me. That's how much I love to freeze dry. We're going to have all the details in case I missed anything down in the bottom in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We love you guys and God bless.